will have labelled them three-parent babies, children born through IVF, but where defective DNA from an embryo is replaced with DNA from a healthy donor's egg.
Well, it's a controversial technique, but it offers hope to families affected by a wide range of diseases caused by faulty genes passed from mother to child.
The UK could soon become the first country in the world to legalise the procedure. Breakfast Graham Satchell has been to meet a family who could benefit from a change in the law.
Oh, you like that, don't you?
Every moment Keith and Victoria have with their daughter Jessica is precious. When she was just 5 months old, they started to notice that something was wrong.
I couldn't get her attention. She stopped smiling and laughing, and she just seemed really quite miserable. And I took her to the hospital. Within a fortnight, we'd gone from a normal admission to being diagnosed with Leigh disease.
Leigh's disease is an inherited genetic disorder. The mitochondria that provide the energy for every cell in Jessica's body aren't working properly.
Time for your feed.
The consequences are devastating. Jessica needs constant medication, is fed through a tube, and her condition is deteriorating.
Ready?
Okay, she'll pass it around
They did warn us that she may not reach her toddler years. So we have to be prepared for that. We hope that she will see this Christmas and next Christmas and many to come, but we have to be aware that that might not be the case with Jessica.
Mitochondrial disease is an inherited disorder that affects around 1 in every 6,000 babies. Keith and Victoria don't want to bring another child into the world who will suffer like Jessica, but they do want more children and are relying on a new treatment called mitochondrial replacement therapy. This is how it works. The nucleus of a woman's fertilised egg contains the DNA that determines our height, our hair colour, our personality. In the new treatment, the nucleus is removed, leaving the faulty mitochondria behind. It's placed into an egg from another woman. This egg has its nucleus removed, but crucially has healthy mitochondria. It's then implanted back into the mother. Experts say the procedure is not unsafe and would eradicate inherited mitochondrial disorders. Critics say it would create three-parent babies. 0.1% of the DNA of the donor mother would be transferred to the fetus.
It's an extremely small amount of DNA that's transferred across, but I suppose from our point of view is that it is still 100% genetically our child in its makeup.
It's not fair that if there's a scientific technique out there that could resolve this happening and stop this happening in the future, that we're not using it. That to me is frustrating and very unfair.
Hold your head up nice and straight.
That's it.
MPs are now to decide whether to allow the new treatment. If they do, Britain will be the first place in the world where it'll happen.
Shall I try the pom-pom?
In the meantime, Victoria and Keith are doing their best to stay positive.
That's good, isn't it?
We need to help her make the most of the short life she has. Time for your snooze. That's it. We appreciate every single smile and every single noise that Jessica makes. Lights our day. And we make sure that we stay happy for her.
Good night, my angel. So there we go, our baby Jessica and Graham Satchell reporting that on just one family dealing with mitochondrial disease.
Well, with us now is Professor Doug Turnbull, who's leading the research into this type of disease and its possible genetic treatment at Newcastle University. Doug, thanks very much for joining us.
Good morning.
How far away are we then from a treatment being available?
Before anything can go forward, we need the Parliament to decide whether or not this should go ahead. Clearly it's a decision that should be made by Parliament, and we hope that Parliament would consider this relatively soon.
And if it did go ahead, for parents, for example, baby Jessica's parents, it would mean that any other baby would not have the sort of problems that Jessica has. Is that right?
No. The whole idea, the film explains it very well. It would be up to a woman to decide whether or not she wanted to use that reproductive choice.
Yes.
What all we're doing is providing a technique that women could decide whether or not they want to go down this route, or not go down this route. So we believe that if a woman did want to go down this route, then it would effectively stop the transmission of these diseases, and that it would stop babies like Jessica being born.
It isn't as straightforward as treating other diseases, in the sense that because there is a genetic manipulation of some sort, you're not just affecting the baby that you're the next baby, but all children thereafter.
Potentially, yes. And certainly if the baby that's born is a female baby, because these diseases are only passed down from mother to child, then that baby that's born, then that baby, when she becomes a woman, could potentially passes on to her children. But surely that's a good thing, because she wouldn't be passing on disease to her children.
What do you say to people who have concerns about that sort of work and those sort of decisions being taken?
I think there's been an incredibly detailed consultative process over the last 7 years, looking at all the different factors, looking at the ethics, looking at public consultation. I think I respect other people's views, but I think the broad support, as is said by Jessica's mother, the broad support is to move this forward at this stage. We're sitting there with a technique that could potentially prevent the transmission of these diseases, and it seems to me now's the time that we should be moving forward.
Are there potential complications? Is this treatment safe?
We can never say any treatment is safe. Having normal babies is not safe, and we all know that. This work has undergone an intensive preclinical testing, and before it would be allowed to be moved forward, an expert panel would decide